God.
I call to order the Township of Aleppo's workshop meeting of March 9th, 2026, and ask that you all join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Can we have a roll call?
President Haluka,
Present.
Vice President Williams,
Present.
Commissioner Jones,
Present.
Commissioner Amatucci,
Present.
Solicitor Giorgetti.
Here.
This, as all of our meetings, is recorded. It is streamed live and recorded and uploaded to YouTube, where it will remain forever. Keep that in mind as you speak.
Ever and ever.
I would entertain a motion to approve the February 16th, 2026 legislative meeting minutes.
I move to approve the February 16, 2026 legislative meeting minutes.
Second.
Is there any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Old business. Did we have someone that was going to speak to this subject? Or-
No, this is all
This is-
here
okay.
for prep for next
Yes.
week.
Yes.
So,
This is a request that we received from one of our residents, Tim Kelly. He's requested that he be able to come back and address us at the legislative meeting. Were you here for that, Francis? The solar
I
panel?
was not, I was
Okay.
not.
The subject was, and I did take some time to read up on it, it was to use a community solar panel farm. There's a bill making it available to residents of Pennsylvania that he wants us to support. But the fact is, we don't have any. So there are no solar farms on this side of the state that we could utilize. So I'm not really sure what us supporting it would do, I guess. But I would entertain some discussion about whether this is something that we should do, something that we aren't interested in doing. I know that Tim is gonna come to the legislative meeting and ask us to make a decision at that meeting, which is why we had Gwen put it on the agenda for the workshop meeting. So, did you get the stuff to look at? Did you get a
I
copy?
got a packet.
Okay.
But I don't, not anything about the solar bill or anything.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tim handed some stuff out.
Oh, no, I haven't.
Okay, Tim handed some stuff out at the last meeting, where he presented the information. I looked as deeply as I can look, and I can't find anywhere where it would be an option for Western Pennsylvania.
I didn't find anything either, and I really looked.
Yeah, I did, I mean, we don't have any
Mostly because I'm
solar
not in favor.
farms, I don't think.
That's my knowledge of
So,
this
and
part
what
of
it
the state.
is to purchase your electricity from a local solar farm,
Yeah,
and to, put that on your electric bill, et cetera, but I don't think it's applicable, we don't have one.
So the way Tim explained it to me was that this bill is just the first step in the process, and he says the bill is to allow this to allow solar farms to have community purchase buy-in versus being owned by one entity. And so what he said to me was that supporting this would be just saying, we think that the state should allow this kind of regulation to be changed. That's all that he said it was for me. And then just as a reminder, a couple months ago, the board adopted this issue endorsement policy. So if somebody comes to the board and wants the board to endorse something, they have some steps that the commissioners decided they should follow to make sure that it's not just, one person having one thought, but that there's community support
Yeah.
for it as well. So that said the board can ask for, let's say may require a measure of community support before considering a vote. So that's, one of the options.
Isn't
Yeah,
that kind of where we are?
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I believe, Tim had a discussion with me about this kind of on the side. And that's kind of what I said, is that I don't think we can endorse a single residence issue without knowing, and we've done that with other issues, without knowing
Right.
that there's multiple people that support. And I think that's where we are kind of forced to leave it, actually.
Well, if I recall, that's the policy we set.
Yes, it
Come
is.
in, present yourself. Commissioners decide whether to ask you to show community support, get community support, then vote. If there's only one person, we're representing every resident of Aleppo Township,
Yes,
that's dangerous. But I think Tim deserves the opportunity to bring that public support.
yes, I agree, but I do think that it's on the presenter to do that.
Yes.
I agree.
Francis, are you familiar at all with solar energy?
Yes, I am. And I fully support it, yeah. So anything that we can do to support it, you know, I would be in favor of. But I think the comments that have been made about community support, let Tim, you know, show that it's more than one person who supports it and not just
The
Tim.
bill is not that hard to read.
I probably do have it because you gave me.
The
you gave
packet
me
from the meeting
Yeah,
right before you
yeah,
were.
I have it. I
yeah.
will take a look at it, yeah.
And
yeah.
part of the reason for it is, if you're in the inner city and you live in a multi-family house, can two people share the same panel? That's something. Number two, if you're selling power back to the utility, it's called PERPA. They're trying to make certain that the utility pays fair market value for the energy you produce. Most utilities don't do that. So my assumption is the reason that it's pressuring the utilities, the fact that they are pressuring the utilities makes the Republicans in Pennsylvania against the bill. But it's an easy bill to read.
I'll look at it, yeah.
And if you Google search community solar, you'll come up with probably the same video that he showed us.
Oh,
yeah, there's a couple little videos up there. Yeah, he brought a little 3-minute kind of video explaining what community solar is. So there's a couple,
I can send you that.
yeah,
link if
there's a
that's
couple
helpful.
opinion pieces out there as well. There's a couple YouTube
Right.
opinion pieces out there.
Are you familiar with the legal aspects at all?
I am. This is something I talked with Anna Jewett about. I will just say, just about at the get-go, our firm does do a lot in the energy sector and with solar specifically. So if this goes beyond just doing a letter of support, we would likely have to recuse ourselves or make alternate arrangements to make sure you do have legal counsel. We know that that bill and these programs have been, you know, experimented with and tried in other parts of the state. We haven't seen as much out here yet. But it's definitely something that has been kind of a trending topic in recent years. I just have a personal interest in energy policy as well. I did used to work for the government, so it kind of came up a lot.
Does that give you a conflict?
For our firm, if this goes further, it could potentially reach that level, but that's something that we'd work with Anna and we'd be able to figure out. We don't know yet because we don't have anything in place yet. We haven't seen one of these, and it's just asking for
Well,
for
if you have
support.
knowledge about the purpose of the bill, it would be helpful to give us a summary.
That's something I would want to follow up with Anna on, just because she has read that a bit more than I have. But if that's something that you want more of, kind of like a legal review of that bill, we can certainly take a look and see if that's something we can do.
I'm not sure that it rises to a legal review of the bill. I think
No.
what George is just looking for is a summary of information.
A layman's summary.
Right.
Okay, I can see what we can do for that.
Okay.
So Tim will be at the next meeting?
Yes, Tim will be at the legislative meeting.
Francis, Tim is a Manor resident.
I do know Tim.
Yeah, Francis knows.
He's very
Tim pretty well.
dedicated to his mission.
I met him when I was walking my dogs.
Okay.
So
I
I'll
meet
put-
everybody when I'm walking my dogs.
So quickly.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Let's move on to some new business. The Allegheny County CDBG and home program opt-ins. I have a very shallow understanding, which came from Gwen actually, so I'm gonna ask Gwen to do a better explanation than I can do.
CDBG is Community Development Block Grant, and that is a chunk of funds that Allegheny County receives, and then they have their guidelines for how they can be distributed to municipalities for various projects. A lot of those projects are income-based, and so Aleppo doesn't qualify for a lot of those projects, but there are some, like if there were to be any public access, like ramps or changing the handles.
Do you
and
mean
public-
median income based or individual income based?
It's, a lot of times they do like a survey along the street, so they'll take an income survey along a street that might be
Okay, so
served
it's
by-
individual income based,
They do
not
a survey,
township
but then-
median,
right.
okay.
And so, we might have one road that might qualify, but I think at this point it might not also, it might
Right.
not qualify, but there are certain things that are under
Okay.
that. And then the home program, I am less familiar with that because we've never done anything with that, but it says that is, helps, there are certain programs that can help people stay in their homes, like certain kinds of improvements. I'm assuming that's probably also income-based, but that might, if people can apply on an individual basis. So what this resolution request is the township would request to opt into the eligibility of these programs. And we have done that it's in every 3-year cycles. We did it in 2023 and we did it 3 years before that. So, I think it's always wise to opt in because it gives us the options, because if there's a grant out there that we could qualify for, we'd be eligible versus not following through. So I would recommend that
Yeah.
we just opt in again, and it doesn't obligate anyone to anything. You're not,
There's
by
no
opting in, you're not obligated to do anything,
No downside.
no downside. So if that's okay, they're gonna I'll type up the resolution and have you guys look it over, and then we can, on the agenda for next week.
Type it up.
Yeah, let us know, because I know we usually use the
form that's
form
in there.
here, then we just clean it up, make sure that the citations are updated, but if you wanna
Pretty
send the
much.
first draft over to me or Anna, we'll
I'll
we'll
just,
get it turned around.
one of us will do it, yep, you
Okay.
and me.
Any other discussion there? Okay, HRG's proposal for engineering services for Rhodes Avenue, which I understand Gwen has some additional information from Timmy.
So we got a grant last year for some guide rail improvements. It was for roadway improvements that were turned into guide rail improvements, and now got permission again to do some more roadway improvements because the guide rail, bid came in lower than the grant amount. So our engineer Dan Barna at HRG has been working with the county to get the approval to make it, be able to use the rest of the funds. So we have approximately $30,000 left in the grant. Then we have $10,000 that was left over from the emergency repair where the contractor gave back $10,000 because there were some scrapes on the road, and they just took $10,000 off the bill. So they walked it today, Tim and Dan and another engineer from HRG walked. Their recommendation for now is gonna be a fog seal, which is like that thicker tar and chip, like kind of a coating tar and chip from the new patch with the new wall section forward to Redgate. So that's gonna be, if you think you're going down Redgate and you turn onto Rhodes Avenue, it would be a fog seal, tar and chip type thing from there all the way to the new patch. Then beyond the new section in the new patch, they're recommending a mill and pave from that to the back, because that hasn't been touched in years, because we were always reluctant to put weight on that road, so everybody just kind of let it alone and fill potholes back there.
Is the fog seal the same thing that they used in the manor?
Yes. We would also schedule a vac truck to come in, it has to sit for a couple weeks, but then have a vacuum truck come in and pick up the loose stuff, because it does push to the sides. So they're recommending a mill and pave from the new wall to the back end of the road, because that part hasn't been touched in forever. There will probably be some base repair there. This HRG proposal is almost $20,000 for the design and bid and management work of this project. So a little bit of that can come from the grant, but there's a limit to how much engineering you can charge under the grant, so that cost would mostly come from the capital improvements account that we have for roads. And at the same time, they were looking at Nancy Drive, which is a short road over here off of Merriman that hasn't been touched in forever too, and there's not many houses and it's a very short road, but it is township owned, and it's not gotten the love that a lot of the other roads have. So they were gonna work up a number to do a quick mill and pave on that road also. That's, doing that section of roads and Nancy Drive, and then a little bit in the next couple years on Weber Road and Hill Road, they were talking about a 5-year plan for those roads, would bring all of the township roads up to having had something done to them since like 2023. I mean, it would really bring all of our roads up. So this proposal here from HRG is for the engineering services for the Rhodes Avenue, and hopefully likely a little bit of the design for Nancy Drive as well. So that's I can put that on the agenda for a vote next week, or if you, this is paving season, so if we're gonna pave, this is the time to get bids out
And
there.
that vote would be for the
To approve
engineering
the engineering.
cost,
Yes,
only not for the project itself.
correct, it's not even gone out to bid, this is to design it to then go out to bid, so that would be another stage, you
Yep.
know, a couple months from now. And they did just say that right now, oil prices are very volatile, which is gonna make paving costs volatile. So there's, no one really knows what's gonna come in on this, but it's not, it's yeah.
Volatile.
volatile.
To bring Francis up to speed, every so often, we'll say 5 years, we do an assessment of all the roads, and the engineer determines the maintenance cost or replacement cost, and then we contribute to the capital funds reserves accordingly. Gwen and I are just starting to look at all the reserves to see if we have contributed sufficiently. So, these engineers are pretty good.
Good, good.
My guess is you have. Just a guess, George, just a guess. Okay, anything else about the paving? Art? Any input?
No.
Okay.
nothing.
Any citizens' participation? Hello?
Can I just say one thing, I'm not a citizen, I'd like to say something. That, just a reminder, because I'll put it out there when we send everything out, but next week's legislative meeting is Tuesday instead of Monday. In March, our legislative meeting in March has, the last multiple years, has traditionally been held on Tuesday instead of Monday to accommodate the mayor's annual meeting. So the next week's meeting is Tuesday, March 17th, not Monday, so. I will send you all an email reminding you on Monday not to come, and reminding you on Tuesday to come here, so that's what you're gonna get.
Francis, you will learn if you desire to ride your bicycle with training wheels. Meet Gwen. I now have 2 sets. I have front training wheels in George and back training wheels in Gwen, so I can't fall over to save my
We're
life.
here to help.
That's what training wheels do. Is there anything else that we need to discuss, talk about, laugh about? Okay, in the absence of anything else, the meeting is adjourned at 7:18.